are you feeling playing right now compared to when you were getting ready to go out there for that Oregon game the first time since that injury?
I feel like I've definitely picked up with the speed of the game and stuff, just how things go during a game. But I still feel like there's a lot that I need to work on actually, just here and there, just stuff during the game where I let loose and just mess something up. So.
Is there specific things that
a lot of it has to come down with footwork. Sometimes I play too high, things like that.
So Warren talked a bit about how you guys have a focus on making sure you're keeping the quarterback clean. What is your mentality going into each one of these games, making sure that you can do that?
Searles preaches sacks and TFLs will lose this game, so we believe in that. We try to keep Stetson untouched the whole game, which of course that hasn't worked out like we would want it to, but that's our goal going into every game.
It appeared like the interior line had some struggles. Now you say that you guys never punted and you had 500 and some yards offense, but it seemed like there were some struggles in the interior line in particular. They run that odd front. Was that kind of at issue there, or what was your thoughts on kind of some of those breakdowns?
I think we just had to play to our standard, and I don't think some of us did that game, not me in particular. I think there's a lot of things that we can work on against that. Odd fronts, of course, something we don't see that much at practice with our defense being strong, mainly 4 down. So that's something new, but with that week of practice, there shouldn't have been an excuse for it.
What are some of those things that you specifically want to work on individually and as a team?
Personally, hat placement in the run game, footwork in all parts of my game, hands. And as a unit, as our offensive line, it's still being physical every game, coming in, setting the standard every day.
What are some of the obstacles in just playing on the road at night, and how do you guys work past that?
Noise is always a big speed bump there, but we work on it every day. We're on our indoor, and they're blaring crowd music, and I still haven't heard a stadium louder than that. So we feel if we're comfortable doing it in that, then we can do it anywhere.
They said, they get some pretty stout guys up front, right? What's your observations of what you guys are facing?
They're really physical. They can all play ball. It's a really good defense line, and we're going to have our work cut out.
You ever been to Missouri during recruiting to Missouri?
I never went. Did not.
Have you heard anything about it?
I remember their offensive line coach at the time that reached out to me a couple of times, but other than that, I've never really looked into it.
Going back to your days at Darlington, what did you learn from Coach Tommy Haffa, coming through that program?
Accountability. He developed me as a man, not only as a player but a man. Really learned everything from him. He's a great guy, huge Christian, believer in Christ. So he preached that to us every day, and I think I learned a lot from it. It's a lot to explain from that.
How do you implement accountability on your offensive line?
No excuses. If you mess something up, own up to it. Don't have an excuse for it.
Tate, I think you kind of talked about this after the game Saturday, but how did you just feel physically having to play 4 quarters in that game?
I mentioned my conditioning. I felt pretty good, but I feel like conditioning is something I can always improve on. I don't think you're ever in good enough shape because there's some points during the game after a long drive later in the game that you're going to be tired, and of course the goal is always to not be in that situation, but it's going to happen. But it's definitely something I want to work on.
How excited are you guys to have a night game atmosphere?
I think everybody's really excited for it. We haven't had one yet. It's been a while. So night games are a big deal for everybody, even the fans for the other team, our fans, our players. So it's a great environment to go into and play.
As an offensive lineman, what's it like having someone like Brock who can get the ball in a handoff and, like we saw Saturday, take it 75 yards, just having someone of that ability on this offense?
Like I just mentioned, those long drives, he can cut those short with one play. So it's great having him out there.
Playing next to Amarius Mims, how have you seen him grow and improve over the course of the season, and what does he bring to this offensive line?
Mims is an extreme talent. I think just looking at him, you can tell that. Playing next to him, he's definitely grown with his physicality and understanding the game. You can tell just playing next to him. He brings a good attitude, and he's just a great guy to be around.
He's the biggest guy you've ever played with, right?
100%. Him or Devin.
What's been your observations of his relationship with Warren? Because Warren really seems to have taken him under his wing and really helped him show him the ropes.
Warren tries to do that with all of our tackles. I think Warren's a great leader. He doesn't show it as much vocally, like out in front of everybody, but behind the scenes, he's really a vocal leader, trying to help everybody, and their relationship's really close.
What's been your impressions of Dare Alexander going up against him in practice?
The kid's explosive. He's really explosive. He can make plays. Strong, physical, quick, really quick off the ball.
What about MJ Sherman?
I'd say the same thing with Bear. He's physical. He's really physical. He's strong. He's fast. As y'all see on special teams, he's making plays on almost every special teams, and he gives us a great look at everything every day.
Going back to last year during your rehab and you're on the sidelines watching them, who were some of the guys that were just in your ear giving you words of encouragement?
Schaefer was big. Jamari, Warren McClendon, Warren Erickson said, really everybody. I think I mentioned one media session that they were who kept me sane there in that time, like just being around them.
What was the best advice you got from any of them?
It's God's plan. It's really something I had to truly believe in, because at first I was, why me, and then you just eventually have to believe this is God's plan. So.
Earlier today, the Chargers said that Jamari is going to start in their next game. What's that like to see a guy you used to play with have an opportunity?
It's exciting. Said was on the phone with him the other day, and he told us, and we all went crazy. It's great to hear that.
You, as far as the Liz Frank fracture that you had, obviously that's a serious deal. Do you have like things you still have to do for maintenance or special insoles or any kind of stuff that you have to do preventive-wise?
I wear insoles, and I still work on my calf strengthening just because I was so immobile for so long. I still get treatment on it just because it has its days where it bothers me and days that it feels like nothing ever happened.
Talking about protecting Stetson, it seemed like there had been you seen him do a little more juke moves out there, taking guys out. I mean, what's been y'all's take on that this year?
He's just showing his athleticism. He does it in practice. I've just seen it in the games kind of different. Just the other guys, it's just crazy to see.
How much do you think he's catching people off guard with some of those moves?
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't think looking at him you'd think he's about to hit you with that, but he does.
Yeah.
What's it like as a lineman just understanding that you've got a quarterback that can move? I mean, we've seen a few plays this year where he's kind of scrambled back there, but what's kind of the mindset you have to take knowing that that's something he can do?
I think we still try to take the mindset that we don't have a mobile quarterback, trying to keep that pocket as clean as possible for him to make throws, which is our goal going in every game. Keep him untouched, make him have to do the least work possible, sit back there and throw the ball.
Any more questions for Tate?
Thank you.
Thanks, Tate.